Hey everybody, how's it going? Let's talk time trials, run time trials specifically. So, as a coach, I absolutely love them. As a runner, I'm not a big fan of them at the time, but afterwards, they're actually not as bad as you think they would be. So, I would want to talk a little bit about how I use the Stryd Run Power Meter to validate a runner's performance and predict a runner's performance and help a runner gain confidence from the data that they're creating in their run sessions. So, as you know, this is the Stryd Power Meter. Nice little device here. This is the wind power one, so this will account for the wind that you're running into or with, and that is calculated into the amount of power that you're putting out at the time. So let's have a look at this particular athlete I'd like to talk about. So we did a run session. The group of foot traffic athletes did a run session about 3 weeks ago. It was a 30-minute time trial. So 10-minute warm up, 30 minutes best effort, 10-minute warm down, and I was getting the athletes to run this as 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back, preferably on a flat course, preferably low to no wind conditions. Now, what I was doing was giving the athletes a target to run their first half in and giving them the freedom of the second half to run as fast as they want. Okay, so if I look at this particular athlete in question, we're going to highlight here. This person, according to the Stryd Power Center data, their best effort for 30 minutes between the dates of 22nd of January, the 7th of April, day before the time trial was due to be done, their best effort for 30 minutes was 212 watts, okay? Now, and in fact, that run was done on the 23rd of February. So that's all well and good. What does it tell us? Now, the great thing about the Stryd software is it actually creates this modeled curve. So if I click this button here, you see this white line comes up and it sits above the green line that we were looking at just before. Now, this modeled curve is based on the information that you input every time you run and you upload your Stryd data. So modeled, this athlete should actually be running 220 watts for their 30-minute peak power. They'd run 212 watts. So I wanted to take this number and go, well, how close to this 220 watts can this athlete actually do? Okay, I didn't tell them that their modeled ability was 220 watts. I wanted to see what they could do. So I gave this athlete a target for the first 15 minutes of their run. I wanted them to run it slightly harder than they had done for their best 30 minute to date of 212 watts. So I had them run 216 watts for their first half, and I gave them the freedom of running as fast as they wanted to for the second half. And whether that meant they ran faster than the first half or slower, didn't really matter. I just wanted to make sure that they stuck to a power target or pretty damn close to it. So if we look at this athlete's data now on Training Peaks, we can see that they ran in the 30-minute TT, as you can see here, 30 minutes and 3 seconds. For the first half, they ran it at 218 watts. Okay, I see 216 watts, they ran 218 watts. Doesn't really matter 2 watts. They were obviously feeling pretty good at the time, or maybe it was just a bit hard to normalize it in the location they were running. But the important thing was they felt like they were holding back a little bit. So the second half they could pick it up or pick up their effort, not necessarily whether that meant pick up the pace as well is a different story. So they ran this first half, 218 watts, 4 minutes 30 per K. Okay, cool. Turn around, head back. I know for a fact that this particular athlete was feeling a little bit puffed at the halfway mark. So maybe some doubts were going into their mind as to whether they could improve on that into the second half. But if we have a look, second 15 minutes, ran at 222 watts, 4 minutes 24 per K. So yeah, they ran a good negative split. So over the course of the 30-minute time trial, they averaged out at 220 watts, bang on. Now we come back to the Stryd website, highlight that 30-minute segment, and the modeled power, according to Stryd, was 220 watts. So I look at that and go, fantastic, we're right on the button. This athlete has run exactly to what they should be able to do for that duration. The training zones that we're creating off their current performance is spot on. and it's an improvement on what they had done previously. And subsequently, they also received an increase in threshold power as well. So everything indicated that there's been a change and an improvement in run fitness. Now, if I just change this filter back out to take it up to the current day, so we'll go to the last 90 days, we will see that 30-minute mark does indeed line up really nicely with that white modelled curve. 220 watts is their best power for that 30-minute duration. 220 watts is their modelled power for that duration. So we know that this time trial got exactly what we needed to out of this athlete. We might retest this again in maybe 6 weeks or so, or maybe we'll find a race that they can do. But this just gives us the confidence going forward for the next wee while that we're right on the button. Interestingly enough, of about the 15 athletes that did this same run test, about 80% of them were able to run to their modelled ability, and that was an improvement on what they had done previously, and received an increase in critical power. So that's a huge result. It's really exciting for me to see, and really reassuring and confidence building for those athletes. So hopefully this just gives you a little bit of an indicator as to how we use this data in training, and it's hopefully going to inform you as to how you can use it yourself, or if you're one of the foot traffic athletes, how we take this information and we make you a better athlete. Okay, see you later.